Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Vision Academy. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you how box model works, the CSS box model. So it says in CSS, the term box model is used when talking about web design and layout. The CSS box model is essentially a box that wraps around every HTML element. Every box consists of four parts, which is the content, the padding, borders, and margin. The image below illustrates the CSS box model, but we don't have an image here. So, explanation of the different parts from the innermost part to the outermost. We have the content, which is the content of the box, where the text and the image appears. We have the padding that is clears an area around the content. The padding is transparent, you can't see it, but it clears an area around the content. The border that goes around the padding, this is what we call border. This red thing that goes round, the inside there we have a padding. This is a border. So imagine if we have it inside one element together. Then we have a margin. Okay, let me create a content. Let me give it a padding. Let me give it a border, and let me give it a margin. Let's come here. Let's create a new div and we'll call it box model. Box. Let's just call this box. Then we'll say testing box model. Inside this box model, let's just recreate this box. Then we'll call it box. What are the properties we want to put inside? We have a width, background color, it has a padding, it has a margin, and it should have a border of 1 ps. Let's remove this box sizing. Text align center is not needed. These are the stuffs that we need. So this is it. We have a padding, we have a margin, the padding should be like 30 pixels so you can see the difference. Okay, let's give the margin to 30 pixel. So you can see what I'm trying to explain to you now. So now we have the content, which this is the content. We have a padding that clears an area around the content. The padding is transparent. But if you can see, there are spaces inside the box. That is, we have a cleared area inside the content. Then we have margin. We have border, a border that goes around the padding. This is the border. Here's the border that we have, red border. Then we have a margin that clears area outside. Outside, can you see there's space between this one, difference between this one and this one? So that is how it works. Then the box model allows us to add a border around element that defines a space between elements. Let's proceed. So demonstration of the box model, we have a div, you give it a width of 300 pixels, you give it a border, you give it a padding, and you give it a margin like we just did. Width, a border, a padding, and a margin. Let's just give it this so much. Then we have the width and height of an element. In order to set the width and height of an element correctly in all browsers, you need to know how box model works. And we have an important notice, which is when you set the width and height property of an element with CSS, you just set the width and height of the content area. To calculate the total width and height of an element, you must also include the padding and the margin. You don't exclude them. So you have a better explanation in the next slide how to explain how it works. So this div element will have a total width of 350 pixel and a total height of 80 pixel. So here's the div. We have a div that has a width of 320 pixel, height of 50 pixel, padding of 10 pixel, border of 5 pixel, and margin of 0. How does this thing work? Here is how to calculate it. The 320 pixel, that is the content of the area. We have plus 20 pixel left and right padding. We have a padding of 10 pixel. Don't forget, this 10 pixel takes all the size. That is 10 pixel for top, 10 pixel for right, 10 pixel for bottom, and 10 pixel for left. But now they're not calculating top and bottom. So they're calculating left and right. And don't forget, left has 10 pixel, right has 10 pixel. This is where we have our value of 20 pixel because left and right addition gives it 20 pixels. That's 340 pixels. And now we are talking about border. Don't forget, this border gives it all sides. Each of them has 5 pixel. Top right, bottom left has 5 pixel. So now let's add the 5 pixel for the left and 5 pixel for the right together. That is where we have 10 pixel. I hope you understand how this comes. That is 350 pixel for all the total width that we have here. Now, same thing for the height. We have height of 50 pixel. We calculate the 20 pixel for the top padding and the bottom padding like we did for the width. Then the height as well for the border, that's 80 pixel. That is how to calculate it. So the total width of an element should be calculated like that. The total width equals to width plus left padding plus right padding plus left border plus right border. Then the total height of an element should be calculated like this. Total element height plus top padding plus top border, bottom border. And note, the margin property also affects the total space that the box will take up on the page, but the margin is not included in the actual size of the box. So the box total width and height stops at the border. I hope you understand what I've explained about box model. Thank you for watching this video. Please do well to follow us across all socials at Technician Academy. See you next time. Bye.